Okay, so I want to take it back because I know we talked about this before we kind of aired the show, and I really want to bring this up because this is kind of an interesting topic. So I know on Bachelor in Paradise, you had told John Henry about high school, right? When you were in a home. What was it called again?
It's like a group home.
A group home.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Yeah. So, in the moment when I was sharing that detail of my like previous life, I've always gone through life kind of like embarrassed and afraid of it, and I wanted him to see me for all of me and like say yes, because engagement was obviously an option. So if you're saying yes to living a life with someone, like you have to understand where they come from.
Absolutely.
And
like accept them for that.
Exactly. And I've lived a life of being so worried of acceptance, and I usually share it with certain people, and also at the time it was like a place for me to like be proud of my resilience and lean into that and like say it out loud, because I've lived my whole adult life hiding it to a lot of people. So that was just a time in my life that was actually a representation of my childhood and like actually where I came from, despite what you see. Like it was like a way to also make others feel very seen. Like I do a lot of stuff with the group home nowadays, and I go back and I visit the girls, and I want to show them like this life that you live, or so like society has said is not good enough, is not actually a representation of you. Like you could do whatever you want in life, but when we're in those settings, like you feel as if like you can't. It's inaccessible.
What's a group home setting? What is that?
So what I lived in a very like tumultuous childhood.
Okay.
Just the dynamic amongst my mom and my sister and I, and like my family was just very unhealthy. It was kind of toxic. That's not a testimony to my mom. Like she was doing as much as what she could do, like what she was capable of at the time. She was managing it
as best as she could.
Exactly. So I'm not like but as a child, you don't understand that, right? Like you're like,
but in hindsight, you're like, I understand.
Correct. I have compassion and understanding, but in the moment, you're like, all the things, right?
Yeah.
So it got to the point of actually unlivable, like circumstances, and I had the option to live away in a group home. So this group home was for children and all girls that come from similar settings, some worse than others.
Is it kind of like a foster home kind
of
thing? Yeah.
But but it was nonprofit, so it wasn't government enforced.
Okay.
So it was something that we both chose on, but you're living in a place with all different girls. You have like house parents where they're like your parents, so it's like home style living. The doors lock at night, so you can't like leave. You're like, it's very structured and controlled.
Do you feel safe there?
I felt the most safe there.
Really? How many girls are there? Like 20?
In my
10?
house, so it's a campus.
Okay.
So there was different homes. In my house, there was 10.
Okay.
And this was like the older girl house. So it was girls that were like in high school, and then there was like the younger girl house. And it depended on like where they were at in the program. And like girls have been there from 10 years. I was there for a year and a half. So like it was a way, honestly, to like live comfortably. There was a chapel. There was like a thing. Like I got very connected with my spirituality. So
you have resources there, which is really nice.
There was a lot of resources. It's changed after COVID, but when I was there, that was the dynamic. So you have like house parents and stuff like that, which are technically like they're supposed to be your parents. They live there 7 days on, and then in the days they have off, which are like 4 or 5, someone else comes in. So they're like interim, and so they all have their own thing. But we cooked dinner. They were teaching us things. We had this thing called work program where you would make like if you worked in the office because you've proven like you're good at like you did good work, you'd make like $4 an hour instead of $150 or $1.50 an hour. But they put that in a savings account, and then like you'd get $10 a week, and you would use that to like buy your groceries like with our grocery run. So
they're teaching you like responsibility and how to make money and
work
hard.
To me, it was an escape. I was going to high school. I had never gotten straight A's. Never. I was going through life skipping classes because I was so uncomfortable at home.
Yeah, you're struggling. It's hard to even focus and want to be in school.
Yeah, and my mom always reminded me of that. Even in kindergarten, when straight A's are easy, I got straight A's for the first time all of my senior year. I retook all my classes. I made my GPA go from like a 1.9 to like a 3.2.
Wow.
I went to college. I retook all the freshman classes I had failed. Like I was free. I was able to be myself. I didn't talk to my parents for like 4 or 5 months. And then I eventually like spoke to them. You didn't have a phone for the first 3 months either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you didn't have a phone. This was in 2014, so it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Social media wasn't what it is.
No.
So
it was very new back then.
Very new. Like Instagram was barely created. So
Yeah.
it wasn't as intense, but like I wanted to talk to my like boyfriend from high school at the time, which is what actually triggered all these like issues with my family. But yeah, so it was, I learned like, oh wait, I am smart. I actually can do things for myself. Like I realized how smart I was.
So it built your confidence. It helped you realize like how capable you actually were.
How capable I was.
When you lived in a home where you felt incapable.
Exactly. And
wow.
They offered this scholarship if you, and I created like a best buddies program there. I did all these things that like I wasn't mentally capable of because I was so, whatever. So, but when you see a girl live in a group home, what do you think? Like you think they're a troubled youth. You think that they're all these things that your parents tell you you are. So something I played like up was when I was an adult, no one will know I came from that because I'll be judged. And I'm not that. And I'm not a reflection of my childhood, but I felt like I was. And I felt like everybody was going to think that.
I see.
So I spent my adult life basically, one, making myself, I was free, right? So I was able to be who I am naturally. But two, doing the work to never in an ounce would you look at me and think she came from that.
You were trying to prove yourself.
Yeah. And in the moment when I shared it with him and when I'm now sharing it publicly and like feeling comfortable with it, I want it to be a place where like girls that might be in that similar position, whether it's in a group home, at home, doing anything, men, anybody, like it's okay. That is not a reflection of you. You are a reflection of you. How you navigate life is you. And maybe it was because I got to a place in my life where I was like, look at all these accomplishments I've made. I'm good now. I didn't actually say I wasn't all the things my family told me I was, but I don't know what it was, or maybe society has normalized like coming through hardship. We didn't have the resources we had back then. Like
No.
I know it sounds like crazy, but 2014 was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it
was
was
a
10
very
years ago.
different
It
world.
was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
Mental health, all the things. It was a very different world. So like it was really hard. So there was a moment for me to share that. It was a moment for me to like be light for others. It was a moment for me like, if you're going to say yes to me, you're saying yes to this baggage.
I love that you opened up and shared that. I think you're so inspiring for being vulnerable and talking about where you came from, because you're right. If someone's going to marry you, love you, be with you, whatever, they do need to know where you came from and what you've gone through.
Yeah, but it's also very scary because there was relationships that I've been in where like when I would share those parts of myself, and I'm still shaking 17 years of habitual toxic communication, right? That's going to come out at times, and especially in paradise. Like you're under these intense environments. So my toxic communication skills can come out. And that would happen in previous relationships, especially in your early 20s when you're still figuring out yourself. And they took that knowledge and immediately used it as ammo.
For sure.
So that almost made me want to close that part off myself more, because it's like, I know I'm not going to be perfect all the time and I'm still healing, but I need my partner to be patient, not to find it ready to go and tell me like, see, this is how you're like your childhood. This is how you're like your mom. This is how you're like your this. I don't want to share those things so you can use it as ammo. So it was when I shared it with Zach, for example, that I was like freaking out because I was like, God, dang it. Like I don't want you to use it against me. Plus I never wanted my mom to feel as if I was bashing her, but it is my truth. And it eventually brought us like so close, and we were able to open that space of safe to speak on things that we both could have done better as a daughter and as a mother. So yeah, it is terrifying. Like to talk to your partner about that.
I'm sure, because I think like at the end of the day, when you open up about things that are really hard like that, you're literally opening the door to let someone use that against you.
Vulnerability.
Yeah. And that's why some people are very afraid to open up, because they know that you can take your weakest, most vulnerable moments and people can hurt you with them.
And I think that is what makes individuals that have been through that hardship and still show up and still always leave their heart open, the best superpower you can have. To be able to go through pain where people have used it against you and still allow your heart open, that's beauty. That is not weakness. And I can't tell you how many times I've been vulnerable and I've been like, dang it, my feelings are hurt now. But I don't know, I can't help it. Like, I will always just like just be a lover. Like I don't know, but it's, a lot of people are afraid of vulnerability because yes, that is a possibility. But imagine like, you cannot have like love without pain. How else are you going to know what love feels like? How else are you going to know the sun comes up if the sun didn't go down? If you just lived a life with the sun always up, then you're like, this is normal. This is great. Like, so you have to be able to experience that to be able to understand the other side. And that, I think, is like strength.
And you also have to be vulnerable with people in order to grow closer, because if you don't understand the things that make them them, you can't show up for them properly.
But that's them being willing to want to show up for them.
Exactly. And the right person, that's how you know right away if they're your person or not. Because if they take your vulnerabilities and use it against you, they're not on your team.
Yes.
If they take what makes you vulnerable and the hard things that you've gone through and they go, you know what? This is why she gets triggered over that. This is why this thing is hard for her.
Let me help her understand.
They're going to help you through it versus use it against you. And that's the difference between love and someone who's actually not for you.
And for me, I can be very defensive. Like, I have a very defensive qualities in myself. But I know, like, I'm also very willing to understand. I always want to understand. If it's presented to me in a way where I don't feel like I need to be on the defense, and it's in a way of, like, a love, basically love, oh, I want to know. Tell me about myself. Please, I don't want to ever make you feel this way. Like, let's talk about it. Yeah. Do not make me, like, but I know that about myself. I can be extremely defensive, but I'm also very introspective. So your person is going to present it in a way that you need to understand, because that's how I show up. Like, if I'm in a relationship and I know that you interpret things this way, like with John Henry, for example, like, I knew he needed a certain way of me expressing my emotions, and I shifted the way I normally would, like, by default, because I wanted him to understand, because I care.
Because that's what you do when you compromise and you want to, like, get on the same page. Yeah, and you care.
Yeah.
And when you see that they need something that maybe you wouldn't normally just, like, naturally give them, it helps you show up so that you can support them and make them feel the love and acceptance that they need. Yeah. And that's beautiful. That's, like, how it should be.
So I even feel like in my career and what I've done in my life and just, like, how I am today is because of the hardship and pain that I've went through. Like, I've just lived in a light of resilience.
Yeah.
So, like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. And I definitely have angels that are working with me, because everything has just aligned perfectly. But, you know, I hope that in today we can use, like, our pain as purpose.
Yeah.
And just, like, use it as a drive. Like, if someone's telling you you can't do something, you prove them wrong. Like, when the world was coming at me, I was like, oh, I'll show you. I'm going to pass my nursing boards. I'm going to move to San Diego alone. I'm going to live a life perfectly fine. And I'm going to show you all of the things that are actually not true. I'm going to keep having my girlfriends because I'm a girly. Like, I'm not going to, like, ever attack, like, somebody's character, like, and come from a place that you're telling me I am. I'm not a mean person. I will just show you in ways that I'm not.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, some people actually use what is being said to them, and they really feel it, and I'm sure I do at some points, but I've always just had this fire of, like, if you tell me I'm going to be something that I know I'm not, I'm just going to use it as motive.
I'm literally the same way.
I will literally just, like...
I let my haters, like, motivate me, because for some reason when people try to challenge me, I'm like, oh, you just watch. You just watch.
I was like, okay, I'm actually going to pass my boards in the middle of this trauma. Like, I was like, I did have to move my exam, which was really hard for me. So I was like, dang it. I wanted so badly to say that I passed this in the middle of it, but I mentally wasn't capable. However, I still passed it in January. So I wanted to, like, I think I naturally seek those things where it's like, I'm just going to add to my plate because you're pissing me off, and I'm just going to show you that I'm better through this way.
But at least you're channeling your energy for good instead of, like, drinking your life away or something crazy that's, like, not building you up. Like, I'm the same way. When I'm, like, stressed, I, like, put my head down and, like, focus more on the things that help me feel good about me, because it builds my confidence in it. It helps me remember, like, who the fuck I am, instead of trying to, like, I don't know, almost, like, give in to what these people are saying to me, because I'm not weak like that, and you're not either.
So typically I'm like that. And
but you're not now. I can tell.
So in that moment when everything was so intense, because I normally navigate life that way, not being able to channel that energy because I physically, mentally could not was, oh my God, it was so mind blowing. I was like, what do? I don't know. I couldn't even tap into that. And that is because the experience was so unique.
Right.
And day to day, I think you absolutely could. But because the experience was as unique as it was, like I think that everything that I went through with my resilience and like building up myself and always doing that did essentially help, like, you know, be the catalyst to where I'm at now with what happened with the show and my breakup in my life. But you don't know that at the time.
Yeah.
You have to look back and be like, okay, that's where that came from. But it's amazing because it does add to your self-esteem and your worth if you allow it. And you're able to recognize it when it shows up in other parts of your life, friendship, work, anything.
We'll get back to the podcast in just a moment. This episode is sponsored by AN Skin, your answer for all things skincare and beauty. Our medical-grade products, made in the USA, use high-quality ingredients and are clinically proven to give you clear, healthy, youthful skin. Everything is cruelty-free. Visit anskinbeauty.com to shop now and regain your confidence. Now, back to the episode.
I feel like, I mean, clearly you've taken a really hard chapter of your life and you've turned it into something really positive, and I think that's so inspiring.
Try to. We're trying.
So what are you doing now? Like, what is life like now?
Oh, I feel like I am like where I have worked my entire life to be. You know, as a nurse, you're working so much. You're doing bedside, you're doing nights, you're just like, because that's the norm. Like,
but it's exhausting.
Oh, it's so it's so painful. Like, your burnout is real. And so, but you're doing it usually for this end goal, right? To be comfortable and doing something you enjoy. So I am finally in a place where I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm comfy, I'm literally doing arts and crafts. Like, imagine having a mental place where you can do arts and crafts. So I'm working in San Diego as a nurse injector, and I'm specializing in aesthetics. And
where are you at?
San Diego IV.
Okay.
It's right at Bankers Hill. It's so fun. I literally make my own schedule. I've learned from the best. Like, Rose is incredible.
So what do you do there?
So I do everything. I do fillers, Botox. We're now incorporating like microneedling and PRF, Morpheus.
Love it.
All the things. I know, it's love language.
Love me some microneedling.
Oh yes, but we're doing it with PRF now,
Yeah.
which is like a game changer. It's like, and so Vampire Facials,
Yeah.
I guess brand you would know. But mostly my brand is like, I want to normalize aging naturally, and that is not a reflection of like you trying to shift this narrative of what women should look like. Like, you're just like taking care of yourself
And being your best self.
Yes.
And being your most confident self.
Exactly. And like, I took what sparked this like thing was when I started taking care of myself as an adult, and like, because it made me feel good, and I started looking at myself and being like, oh, this is who this is what I'm capable of. Why have I not been living my whole life like this?
Right.
I want to show people that's okay and normal too. That does not mean you're trying to be a different person. You're just actually tapping into all your potential, and like, let's have fun with it. And I think aging is beautiful. I think it shows growth and knowledge, and I would never want to completely like erase that. And so if you do it in a right way with aesthetics in the right way,
Absolutely.
you could just like slow it down. Why not? You have the resources.
Everyone wants to feel their
Same
best.
thing with Ozempic. People want to come at it. It's like, if you have this resource to actually help slow down morbid obesity that we struggle with as a country, why not use it? And if it's used right with any medication, it can be beautiful.
Yeah.
In all ways. So that's what my practice is like, purposes as a person.
I love that.
And I align really well with the new practice that I'm in. And I just can't wait. There's so much growth and knowledge in this world. And
I love the aesthetics world, obviously.
I do. And so the skincare aspect of it, I think when it comes to, you know, if you go to the gym and you don't go home and eat well, you're not going to see results. If you do all the injectables, but you don't go home and take care of your skin, you're not going to see real results, at least long-lasting results.
Oh,
it's
man.
like a diet.
Yeah.
So it's like with skincare,
It's a lifestyle.
It is. And it's when you're taking care of yourself, you feel better by yourself. But I also long-term want to incorporate the mental aspect that comes with it. Because when I was down bad, there was no way I was washing my face. Like, it was an effort to shower. Like, that's how bad it was. So I do recognize, like, when it comes to inner beauty, like, our outer beauty is a reflection of our inner beauty and like where we're at mentally. So incorporating both, you are going to just live a life that like radiates light. And that is good for you and others around you. That is like my practice. Like, that is what I stand by. That's what I want to live by. And I hope I could bring that to others. And I'm young here, so it's great. I have so much time to learn and grow.
That's right.
And hopefully I can bring that for others. And that's like pretty much my purpose. But also my girlies are here. All the girls from the show, Jess, Genevieve, Anastasia, Kylie, we're all here. So it's so fun because I have friends. I'm not alone anymore.
Absolutely.
And just the environment here is very welcoming and just like kind, and everyone's just like down to help others, and like that's how I live. So I feel like I'm just in alignment with that versus how I was in other states. But I'm going home in a couple weeks. Like I'm still going to see my family, but it's wonderful. I'm so grateful, and I don't think I'll ever leave.
So if people want to book with you, how do
Yeah.
they get a hold of you? Do they call?
Yeah, it's super easy. You can call or you can go on to both my Instagrams. I have my nurse practitioner Instagram, which is Kat Izzo NP, and then my regular Instagram, which is just Kat Izzo. It's right in my bio, and you can book a consultation. I can just like basically look at what we would possibly improve, and I'm not afraid to say no. So don't come at me thinking I'm just because you want your lips, I'm gonna do it, because I'm gonna do what's gonna make you feel.
Well, a good injector is going to tell you no if
Yeah,
you don't think it's going to actually
exactly
give you the result you want.
Whatever is going to accentuate your futures is what I'll do. But if you want to come and like just talk, like I'm so down. And it's 5 minutes from my house, which we love.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just would book with
Convenient.
me, and then I have control over my schedule. So you would just find me on social media, TikTok. I give a lot of resources for nurses.
Okay.
And like I have like a whole nursing like platform if you want to know how to get into aesthetics or just like things that I wish I had when I was in nursing school as far as
Right.
resources go. Like I pretty much provide that educationally because I love to educate.
And I love that because I have so many friends that are nurses that want to get in this world and don't really know who
It's
to like
hard.
lean on, and I feel like you'd be a great resource for them.
It's because it's actually so difficult.
It
These are
is.
not things that are taught in school. These are
No.
not. You have to do the work. So if you're not willing to do the work for yourself, you're not going to. But if those people that want to know the things are people like me who want to do the work and learn. So I would love to guide them. And so that's kind of like what I've used my platform for good is like, let me help and heal.
Yes,
And-
I love seeing like your content. Obviously, I'm an aesthetics girl
Yeah,
myself,
yes,
but
yeah.
like I can just see it. Like you genuinely care. You love educating people.
Yeah.
Your work
It's
is
fun.
beautiful. Where you are looks like it's beautiful. I've never seen your clinic, but it looks amazing.
It's so fun.
San Diego itself is beautiful. So
Yeah. It's
if people want to fly out and visit you, I'd be like,
Oh,
come.
my friends
visit.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
they fly.
You can
Right.
visit, they have
It's
a
a
little
cheap
weekend
flight.
trip.
It's a
Yeah,
cheap flight.
It is a cheap flight. It isn't bad.
And the airline, the airport is literally like in the middle. San
It
Diego
is
is
the
actually
tiniest airport. It's so easy.
And the whole like San Diego world is so small.
I know. Everything's 20 minutes.
I used your skincare today underneath my makeup. So if my makeup looks good, it's because
It
of
does
your
look
skin.
good.
Yeah, I literally used your line today. I was like, if I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna actually like show like her skincare is great.
I love you.
Yeah,
You are so sweet.
it sits well under makeup, which is the key.
It is. You don't want anything that pills or looks really greasy or
And
anything.
here the world like the air is so dry.
Okay, it's so weird here. Like my hair yesterday was so flat. I was like, what is going on? But I think it's from all the like
It's so dry.
moisture, but it's also like not because it's like dry.
So
it's
dry.
very strange. Like our place right now is literally on the water. Like I can see the ocean from here.
But it's
And-
not human air.
But it's not humid.
I
It's
like the
so
beach now.
strange, but I love it.
PSA. I like the beach. I just didn't like Florida or humid beaches. Okay, I've learned.
Yes.
I've learned because it's cool breeze. But here, it's like I've had to adjust my whole skincare routine.
Really?
All my makeup, all my skincare, everything has had to change.
I believe it though, because your environment can absolutely
Oh.
like obviously alter. Like
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people have been like, I have followed your skincare routine or this like I've given people a routine and
Yeah,
they
me
followed
too,
it
yeah.
for a year or two straight.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they move and they have to completely change it. I'm like, it's
Everything.
your environment. Like
It
if it's
is.
too dry or too humid or
your
you
body
know.
hasn't adjusted
Yeah,
yet.
exactly.
And I have like allergies now out of freaking nowhere because there's wildflowers here.
Yeah.
They don't have flowers in Florida. Like what? Everything is
like,
great.
what is this? This is
I was like, I have to start getting the local honey to function. But it's actually really good, which we love. And we love clinical proven things because I don't do anything without proving its worth.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's another thing with my practice is it's very educational based. It's like we've done the research, we've done like we're using products that have efficacy to it, and I'm not going to do something that hasn't done the work to do it. Because like I'm like, okay, where's your source?
exactly. You want to make sure there's clinical studies or like some result that you
Yeah.
can like
Otherwise,
actually
it's a poor
stand behind.
investment.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a poor investment.
Because none of this stuff is cheap. But
Exactly.
But if you can get behind it because you see the results, it's worth that investment. It
Long-term
just-
investment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and we're spending money. That's what I say about men. I'm like, they're pissing me off. Botox is too expensive. Okay? I am not going to have any more freaking wrinkles because you don't know how to handle your life. Like, I am just going to... It's not that serious. It's not that serious because I'm not going to give myself any wrinkles over this. Like, please, I need sleep.
I knew you were my girl.
No,
I knew
it's too expensive. Like, Botox, I can't. These men are not worth the amount of money that we pay to take care of our skin.
That's right.
It's so true. It is such a thing. So yeah, it's incredible. I feel like I'm really where I strive to be, and it's so fun to say that I did it by myself, and hopefully I could be able to show people like you can when you feel like you can't.
Yeah.
Because you can. You literally can. It's all mindset.
Yeah, that's right.
It's fun.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. It's been so awesome to like get to know you, and I can't wait for everyone to just like see you for you and behind the cameras, behind all the crazy narratives, like just you as a person, because you're beautiful inside and out. And
I am still a self-aware Delulu queen. Like I am a Gemini through and through. So like shout out to the girlies that got it, because I have had so much support. TikTok is my safe place.
I love that.
The girlies get it. The delusional queens get it. Like the Delulu girlies, like I love it. So I just want to make a recognition to like the girls that have been there for me and men that have acknowledged like we think the same way, because not everybody is coming at me wrong. Like I've had support, and
yeah,
I appreciate that, because it makes me feel more comfortable to speak on it, because I know that I'm going to be seen by them. They're going to recognize and know, and it's fun to be a little crazy. Like if you're not, like you're like, how are you doing life?
Life is short. Like just be funny, be silly, be yourself. You know?
Yeah, silly, goofy mood.
And support is obviously very sexy. So it's like I'm all about people who want to support each other.
Yes, and TikTok, I go to TikTok.
Those are your girls.
Those they literally are, like remind me that I'm normal. And so if they're gonna ban TikTok, I'm like, please don't. This is what's gotten me through life.
These are my people.
These are my
Do
people.
not ban TikTok.
You find your people and your social media sources, and they are one of them. And I love them, and I support them. I appreciate them, because they are the reasons that I feel comfortable speaking how I am now about myself and about what this world has been. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I appreciate you for also showing me like this is a safe place, because I feel really related and seen by you.
Aww,
and
I love hearing that.
Me being able to like recognize exactly what you were talking about with the school stuff like really showed me like me and you connect on a different wavelength that not others like we get it and not everybody would. So I appreciate you like making this such a comfortable and safe environment to share it.
You gave me chills. I love that.
Oh.
I feel like there's always like, you know, when you look back at the trajectory of your life, like this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And like connecting with other women who've like been through hard times and have come out on top and like
and are willing to speak about it.
Yes,
with you.
it's huge. So I just appreciate you more than you know, and I can't thank you enough for
You're
taking
girly
the time
for
to meet
life.
with me. Yes,
You were a girly for
I'm coming
life.
back to San Diego. It's got my heart.
Oh, you're gonna make me go to St. Louis? Okay. I'll do it though. We'll do it. But yeah, I appreciate you. This is gonna be fun.
I know. I think so too. I'm excited to go to lunch after this and
I'm gonna show you a little Italy.
have a little cocktail.
We're gonna have a girlies day.
it's
You
gonna
might
be
as
great.
well. We're on vacation.
I know, that's right.
I'm on vacation because you're on vacation. Girl, math.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for listening, and until next time, be loud, be proud, and be shameless.
For more information, visit us at anskinbeauty.com to shop all our medical grade skincare.